YouTube, chicks. Get ready. You know what to do, chicks.
Look at Chick Smooth.
Hey, Chick Smooth, appreciate all the coverage that you've been doing. I've been watching your shit for a while. I just subscribed to your shit too, bro.
Do not let social media trick you out of your spot. I repeat, do not let social media force you to lose your job. Sometimes you just gotta put your phone down until you clock out of work. It's okay. I promise you, you're not gonna miss much. Now, last week, a sideline reporter named Rachel Deita for the Big Three, she was fired. Everybody relax. She wasn't bashing the Big Three league. She wasn't trying to flirt with the owners. She was tweeting about the WNBA game while she was working, more specifically about Caitlyn Clark.
I don't want to make this any more dramatic than it needs to be. So with all of that being said, the rumors are true. I was fired from the Big Three, and my team received an email at 11 p.m. on Tuesday with a letter that essentially said that I had been terminated. Now, I don't want to misquote anything, so I will just let you guys know exactly what that email said. They said, "It has come to Big Three's attention that Miss Deita was posting on her social media platforms during this past weekend's Big Three games and promoting the competing New York Liberty vs. Indiana Fever WNBA game that was being broadcast at the same time. The league is extremely dismayed and disappointed by Miss Deita's severe lapse in judgment while performing services for the league, during which time she should have reasonably known that she should have been promoting only league games. The league provided her with unique access and opportunity to be a focal point on national broadcasts, so management was completely taken aback to learn that she was posting about another league's games while in the midst of rendering services." Now, this is true. I did send out 3 tweets about the Indiana Fever versus New York Liberty game during the Big Three broadcast. And again, you guys, I want to be completely transparent. I will show you the exact tweets that were posted during that time. So firstly, to start the day, I tweeted a selfie and I said, "Let's work," and I tagged the Big Three and CBS Sports. And then I tweeted this highlight 3-pointer of Caitlyn Clark, and it said, "For those who question the hype," and that was a tweet that directly came from me. And then I retweeted a Nike basketball tweet, and then I also retweeted when the Indiana Fever won the game. I did continue to tweet about that game, but it was after the Big Three broadcast. I did feel a little bummed that there wasn't any discussion prior to me being fired. However, I didn't hear from anybody. There was no talks about it. And I wasn't under the impression that those tweets would do any severe harm to the Big Three or anybody would think any type of way about it. So like I said, again, I'm not making excuses. I'll take it on the chin. It's my bad. I apologize for that. But I do wish that there could have been some sort of discussion, because I feel like something like this could have been easily nipped in the bud. And part of my job with the Big Three last season, the games were on X. And so I was really active on X like during those games because the chat was going and I was getting involved with all of those things. So it's very common for us, honestly, across all networks to be on your phone every once in a while. During the Big Three games, I was locked in. I was catching my interview.
Now, some of you guys might say, "Chicks, well, why was she fired for that? If anything, that should have been a warning to her." Well, you have to consider the history between the Big Three League and Caitlyn Clark. Last year, before the season started, Ice Cube made an insane offer to Caitlyn Clark. He offered her a 2-year, $10 million contract. Not only that, but she would also make money with merch, and there was also talks of her being a potential owner for a team. Caitlyn Clark and her team eventually turned down the offer.
Does the offer still stand to Caitlyn Clark?
Nah, we've moved on. We see that she is focused on the WNBA, and we really didn't get great engagement from the offer from their team. I think the agents was hating on it a little bit. So yeah, we worried about the players that we have. We think we're gonna have our best season. Because the matchups are, teams are so evenly matched, and they know the game now. They know how to win in the Big Three, and so we can't wait till Saturday.
What was the official offer to Caitlyn?
It was 2 years, $5 million a year, and plus, we were going to do cool stuff with merch and. I think he was even talk about a percentage in team ownership. we were gonna, we believe her coming into the big three would be such a big deal that, all boats would rise and the league would benefit from the attention and to see, if she can actually do it against this competition. So
now, because the NBA does own WNBA's IP and also supports their league financially, there was rumors going around that WNBA had a hand in Caitlyn saying no. For the last 4 or 5 years, Ice Cube has been on record. He's been calling out the NBA for blackballing his league. So it looked like the NBA had a hand in keeping Caitlyn out of the big three, which would have given them a crazy spotlight. Obviously, you guys have seen Caitlyn's fan base and also what she does on the court. If Caitlyn would have joined the big three this year, it would have been their most viewed year. And that's not even including all the crazy sponsorship money they would have gotten. So fast forward to last week, after Rachel got fired from the big three for tweeting about Caitlyn Clark and their game, some people feel like Ice Cube and the big three were salty that Caitlyn denied their offer. Now, if you ask me, I think Rachel getting fired was a little bit more personal. Yes, she should have known not to tweet about a whole nother league, obviously when the big three is trying to compete for spotlights, fan base, but there should have been a warning to her. Trust me, as somebody that's been fired from jobs in the past, obviously this was way before YouTube, HR usually gives you a warning. They tell you, hey, this is what you're doing wrong, or this is what you did wrong and you gotta fix it. If I worked for you guys last year and I think we have a good relationship equity with each other, you letting me go for one tweet and a couple retweets on my social media page is crazy. Yes, it was unprofessional, but this wasn't nothing too crazy. She's not tweeting and telling her fan base, hey guys, make sure you go watch Caitlyn Clark right now. She's going absolutely bonkers. Matter of fact, don't even watch Big 3 game right now. It's trash. There should have been a conversation behind the scenes letting her know not to tweet about the competition during work hours. Listen, man, I'm just calling it how I see it. Once again, yes, it was unprofessional. Was this actually a fireable offense? I don't think so. You guys get in the comments below. Do you guys think Ice Cube and Big 3 firing Rachel was personal? Post your comments below. Subscribe to my channel, like this video. I'll see you guys later, man.